You see, exploration is an activity where we have to work we start with limited data, and we refine our interpretation, we refine our understanding using the data. So AIML is going to play a very big role in making our assumptions, making our analysis very accurate, close to accurate, and then only we will be able to de-risk our prospects.
Held at the ONGC Advanced Training Institute in Goa, this promises to be a showcase of next-gen energy technologies and cutting-edge digital systems from hydrogen and storage to AI-driven grids. Across these halls, what you will see, dear viewers, is innovation on display, ideas being tested, and solutions for a cleaner, smarter, and more resilient future in energy.
After the round table with CEOs from the energy sector, where Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi spoke and highlighted about the $100 billion of investment potential in the energy sector, Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, exclusively spoke to Republic on how India's youth is the catalyst and the driving force for growth, substantial growth in India's and the world's energy sector.
If the takeaway I'm telling you that the youth ultimately are going to be the major beneficiaries of Viksit Bharat. Because, my generation by 2047 will be, no longer around. And if you define youth in terms of there's somebody who's 20 years old and we are in 2026, the next 21 years they'll be 41 years old. You will have a situation in which all the energy transition, movement to biofuels in a big way, to green hydrogen, to natural gas, all these things help change people's lives. And I think I'm absolutely clear that the youth today, and this is a very different platform from the other platforms. This is not just about traditional energy. We are now wanting to, and we have succeeded in bringing people from the IITs, engineering colleges, students, and they come here and they open when they look at what is happening, whether they see an electrolyzer which is domestically made or they see other activities, that I think is, and our biggest, if you ask me, I go around the world, I see the demographic challenges. There are societies which are totally aging. Our real strength lies in the fact that we have a population, bulk of which is below 35 years of age. I think about 65% is below. If you looked at the median age, it's even less. So the people like you, so you have everything to look forward to.
See, BPCl is pioneer in digital because this is our key focus area. And first time in India, we have launched yesterday by the Honorable Minister of Petroleum, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri ji. They have inaugurated our wingtip automation.
What is that exactly? Can you just simplify it for our viewers?
Yeah, what happens today that after every fueling, there are certain things has to happen manually because all billings and all fuel delivery vouchers, everything is through manually. We have converted entire process digital mode. It means that no manual intervention, no manual work. And if you see that the kind of growth which is happening in the airports, the number of flights coming, we have to improve the turnaround time of the aircrafts. So it means that whatever fueling we do, we have to reducing the fueling time. So we are assuming that almost 20% reduction in fueling time, especially when we are saying there is no manual work.
Almost at the closure of India Energy Week 2026, while there are several MOUs that have already been inked, we have with us a Philippines-based organization collaborating, inking an MOU with an Indian-based organization that will benefit India's growth story in terms of its energy structure, its infrastructure, and also data centers. Please take us through this deal and how is it really going to impact India's growth story, and why did you want to collaborate with India? First of all, if you could just elaborate on that as well.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having us here, and We are at a very, very exciting time in India, and it's a privilege, of course, to an honor, to be a part of India's growth story and to play an important role in it. So the idea is that, AGNP Industrial that I represent from Philippines, Manila, it's a 125-year-old company, and we have been, doing a lot of work for all the heavy industrial sector, your refineries, petrochemicals, oil and gas, as well as the energy sector, and now, pivoting also into the data center
Is this your
market.
first collaboration with an Indian company?
Actually, no. So you would have heard of us through AGNP Pratham.
Yeah.
Right.
We have, yeah.
Yes, which is now merged and has now become Thingas. So now we are very, very excited to partner with Pragati Infrastructure, PISL, and this, with this partnership, we want to come up with a joint platform that will allow us to bring the AGNP proprietary modstruction methodology. Modstruction is modular construction.
If you could just simplify it for our viewers, because that's a very technical
So
term.
it's the concept is just about what can we design and how can we design, say, a particular, say, a refinery or a LNG terminal in a way that parts of it can be modularly built. So while that is on site, because everything can't be modular, so while some of the things are being built on site, part of it can be modularly built. And that allows you to do sort of parallel processing, so you're able to accelerate the schedule. And the idea is that, with us, we jointly want to develop such a yard in Andhra Pradesh, and I'm sure, you will hear more from PISL about
I'd like to
it.
hear more from Mithil
Yes.
as well. If you could just elaborate on what are the kind of jobs that we're looking at in terms of creation, pan-India, and what is the real impact on ground reality, last mile connectivity? How is it going to really help India's infrastructure story?
So, the simpler analogy that you were trying to ask, Anupam, as to how do you define modstruction, so you can simply relate it to building a modular kitchen. We had those times when the carpenters used to come, they used to chisel wood, cut plywood, and then assemble. Now we have the modular kitchens where a person from the company comes, takes measurements, defines everything, and the kitchen gets fitted in maybe one day. So this is exactly what AGNP has specialized in the industrial sector.
How significant is this collaboration? I'll go to you first and then.
Yeah, with this collaboration, we're really introducing the concept of modular construction. So what it does is it accelerates project delivery schedules. It builds in predictability into project delivery. Also, because you are going to be building all of these modules in a controlled environment.
So how is it going to help data centers? Because there's so much big money flowing into India, right? Big
Yeah.
American money.
Yes.
Microsoft, Google, when you talk about data centers, they're the first two companies that come to our mind.
Correct.
So how are you sort of playing
So,
a role
you
in
have
that?
all of these data racks, you have all of those various components that go inside. There is electrical instrumentation components. All of that can be modularly built. So what you're doing is while you're preparing on-site campuses, we are able to build those, in a controlled environment in this yard that we will set up together. And then we are able to meet those kind of delivery schedules, because what the concept that we're bringing out here essentially debottlenecks, the supply chain, so to speak, for infrastructure delivery across all of these sectors. So that is what we are, beginning to do, bring to India through this collaboration.
So first of all, I think as a company, we are very glad to be a participant for the third year in a row. The show has grown from strength to strength, and as Swagelok, who's a world leader in the field of fluid system technologies, we're really happy to be a consistent part of this. It was absolutely fantastic to see, and the Honorable Minister Sultan from ADNOC, their vision for both countries, the cooperation and the absolutely fantastic potential that lies ahead. So we are very excited to contribute to this opportunity and to the goal of Viksit Bharat.
The extent of participation from companies from all across the world, and there's so many new things that have been put on the table by various companies. It's very interesting to see, and looks like there's great potential for the energy sector in India going forward, particularly when you look at the fact that over the next decade or so, the increase in usage of energy is going to be driven by places like India. So I think that's going to have a big impact.
As Honourable Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Hardeep Puri closed the last day of the week, one can't help but also marvel at the array of displays exhibited here. from sustainable infrastructure for oil extraction to windmill farms, energy-efficient cars, AI booths to hydrogen and renewable energy exhibitions. The India Energy Week was hope wrapped into a global summit box. The future shows promise. The world is at the cusp of sustainability and Bharat is paving the way for it all.
Going forward, I am assured, I don't want to use, less than precise language. Three things that stare me in the face. One, there is more and more energy coming onto the global market, both in terms of crude oil supplies, both in terms of newer energies, and at the end of the day, the geopolitical uncertainty, somehow I am convinced, maybe I'm being unduly optimistic, that policymakers will stop hopefully shy of raising the threshold where turbulence goes into large-scale chaos. I hope that happens. Sometimes I myself get up in the morning and say, oh my God, I hope this is not spiraling into that. But to answer your question specifically, and I apologize for being long-winded, we are very well equipped. We are the third largest consumer, fourth largest refiner, fifth largest exporter. In the coming years, from now to 2027, 28, 2030, India will continue to occupy center stage in the global discourse, and I think we're very well equipped, both in terms of ensuring availability, affordability, of course, it depends, but so far we've insulated our consumer from, and ultimately the sustainability which is a really great story. It gives us confidence that more and more emphasis will come on the greener energies, more natural gas, more biomass, more we'll use that in sustainable. That part is lifting. But I think to be absolutely clear, it's not that fossil fuel is going to go away. In fact, if you don't go on investing in fossil fuels, I said in one of my statements that if you stop investing today, in 1 year alone, the combined production of two of the big suppliers would disappear. So it's an ongoing battle.
This was the India Energy Week 2026, where knowledge met insights and action plans were forged.